Welcome back to the Team to Beat Miami Heat podcast, your one-stop shop for daily Miami Heat content. Before I get into today's episode, just want to thank everybody for supporting the channel. I'm pushing to 2,000 subscribers and getting really close. So if you guys do enjoy the content, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. So for today's episode, I want to talk about Heat's rookie, not Pelle Larsson, but Pelle Larsson. So the Miami Heat have done it again, and it looks like they've might have gotten the steal of the second round of the NBA draft. So Pelle Larsson is looking really good, honestly. I know it's just the preseason, and he also had some opportunity to show out during the Las Vegas Summer League when the Miami Heat won the Summer League championship. Pelle Larsson played a significant role in that team. He hit the game-winning shot to help the Miami Heat win the championship, and so he's been a good player, and we've heard good things about him from summer and through training camp. And yesterday or 2 days ago was the Miami Heat's first preseason game against the Charlotte Hornets. They lost, unfortunately, but Pelle Larsson had a opportunity to shine, and I think he did. So he came in off the bench as part of the second unit. So he actually came in before the Miami Heat's first round draft pick, Pelle Larsson, who also had an awesome game in preseason, as well as ahead of some other players from that team, that summer league team, like Caleb Daniels and his college teammate Keshaw Johnson. So either way, Pelle had a good game. He had 10 points. He shot 4 for 5 from the field, 2 for 2 from 3. He had 1 steal, a couple of rebounds, no turnovers, which is huge for a rookie in his first preseason game. And yes, the Charlotte Hornets suck, and they're not a good team, really, not a very good defensive team or offensive team, obviously. But the Miami Heat's divisional foe is not a good team. But this team was full of NBA players. He didn't really play against a lot of the Charlotte Hornets starters, like Nick Richards or LaMelo, Miles Bridges, etc. But or Brandon Miller. But he did play against their second unit. And in the summer league, like I've mentioned before in past videos, that's not a team full of NBA players. Like a lot of guys don't make the actual roster, don't make an NBA team that play in the summer league. So it's a lot of college guys, undrafted dudes, and some NBA guys mixed in, second year, third year guys, or just guys who have never been able to crack a rotation. We saw, I think it was Kevin Knox playing, which is insane. I think he's been in the NBA for like 5 or 6 years. So there is that exception. But either way, he looked really good coming in. He was playing with Duncan Robinson. He was playing with Kevin Love, I believe, Thomas Bryant, and Drew Smith. And he stood out, and he looked really good. He's a really good off-ball player. He's not going to get the ball in his hands, assuming that if he does play, which I think he will play in the rotation. Not sure how many minutes he's going to play this upcoming season coming off the bench, but Jaime Jaquez is going to be our sixth man. We're going to run the offense through Jaime off the bench, and we're going to have players like Alec Burks coming in off the bench. He was a spot starter for the Miami Heat with Tyler Hero out with his groin injury. Jaime was also out this past game, unfortunately, so we didn't get to see Pelle playing with him. He kind of reminds me a little bit about Jaime in terms of his motor and his high IQ and his effort, which is exciting because Jaime is a great player and he's potentially going to have a good breakout season this year. So we're hoping for Jaime to break out, which will help the Miami Heat avoid the play-in potentially. But either way, Alec Burks will be coming off the bench, which could hinder some of Pelle's time, which could be annoying to some Heat fans. But he still will be a part of that 10-man rotation, I believe, especially because Josh Richardson is not fully healthy yet. He's getting close, which is good. We had that shoulder injury last season against the Celtics. I forgot how many games he missed, like 20 or 30 games, obviously missed the playoffs. And Jay Rich, has not played in the Miami Heat scrimmage during training camp or in the first preseason game. Not sure when he's coming back. But Pelle is going to be someone that is a plug-and-play player, according to Spo. So Spo said he is fitting into this Miami Heat scheme and culture, and he's a plug-and-play guy, which means he'll get some time. He'll get an opportunity. I think he'll get an opportunity ahead of Pelle Larsson. Pelle Larsson, even though he had a great preseason game and looked great, and I want him to back up Bam Adebayo, in terms of the depth chart, it looks like he's still behind Thomas Bryant or Kevin Love at this point, depending on if we put Kevin Love in that conversation as a backup center, or if he's the backup power forward to Nico. Um, who knows? But we got some depth, which is a good thing, and Pele is part of that depth. And like I was mentioning earlier, really good off ball player. He's going to have the opportunity to have the ball in his hands at times for sure. And he can put the ball on the floor, which is good. He can get to the basket. He could finish at the rim. He can get to the free throw line. But more importantly, we're going to need him to catch and shoot, hit some threes like he did in this preseason game, which was great. And then we're going to need him to do all these backdoor cuts, weak side cuts, and just moving off the ball and helping his teammates out. And he had one really good cut with Duncan Robinson, I believe, was in the corner and got the nice assist to Pele, who had an uncontested layup. So he's always moving, which is great. He again tries hard on defense, which I think is important, and why he'll be in the rotation and why Spo will trust him more is because he's someone who's willing to take a charge, and there's not many guys on this team or in the NBA in general that do that. Kyle Lowry was the last guy that we had that was a nuisance and someone who always goes for charges. Kevin Love does it, even at his elder age. I'm older than him, so feels weird saying that, but um, it's refreshing to see that Pele is buying into this Heat culture. He is going to do everything that he's asked of from Spo and from the team, and he's someone that's not going to complain. He's just going to go to work, and he's going to play defense, and he's going to spot up and hit threes if necessary, and he's going to have the opportunity to have the ball in his hands a little bit. And if he does, he has the ability, to put the ball on the ground and get to the rim. I think the mid range is somewhere where he needs to work on. Obviously, 3-point shooting too. We'll see how good he is. I don't think he's going to come out and be like Max Strus and be like a super high volume, effective high 3-point percentage shooter. But if he could shoot league average, which I think is like 35% or so, correct me in the comments if I'm wrong. If he could shoot 35% from three, 36, 37%, like anywhere in that range, that's going to be huge. Anything above that is going to be a big bonus. But I think the NBA can be in trouble. The Miami Heat did it again. Look what Spo and the assistant coaches have been able to do with undrafted players in our system. We have the best developmental system in basketball. We have the best coach in basketball, and we have some really good assistant coaches on his bench as well, and great minds. So think of what they're going to be able to do with someone who is actually drafted. The Miami Heat haven't had a second round pick in a very long time. So I'm excited that Spo has a new weapon off the bench, someone who's 6'6", pretty athletic and versatile, and someone who's willing to play defense as a rookie. I think that's huge. So I'm excited to see his impact and excited to see what else he can do during the preseason. And hopefully he makes an impact as a rookie, as a second round steal in the NBA draft for the Miami Heat. So let me know what you guys think about Pelle Larsson, his impact he can have this year, his role coming off the bench. Let me know what you guys think about him. And don't forget, again, to subscribe to the channel if you guys do enjoy the content. Thank you so much and have a good day.